Hello, and thank you for joining me for the second video in the Systematic Review series. In the prior video, I discussed what distinguishes different types of literature reviews and what makes a systematic review unique. In this video, I will talk about the next question on the list: what are the steps in creating a systematic review? Systematic reviews typically follow a very rigorous, well-defined methodology in order to minimize the introduction of bias and ensure a high level of reproducibility. In this slide, I will walk you through those steps to help you better understand what the systematic review process looks like. The first step is to clearly identify your topic as a research question. Most systematic reviews are performed in order to answer a specific research question, and it's this research question which will drive the remainder of the systematic review process. The next step is to identify the key elements of your research question by using the PICO framework or some other similar framing device. It's important to take your time during this step to make sure that your search is thorough and exhaustive, but will also result in a manageable number of articles given the time and personnel limitations that you're operating under. The overall quality of your systematic review project is dependent on doing a thorough and exhaustive search at the beginning of the process. If the search is not done correctly, then you may miss out on important articles. Once you've created your initial search strategy, you will then translate that to other databases. You will then run the search in those databases and upload the results into a tool like Covidence. I will explore these preceding steps in more detail in future videos. After you've uploaded the articles to Covidence, it's time to begin screening them. At this step, you will likely have a large number of articles in Covidence that you need to screen, but please don't be discouraged by that. This is a necessary part of the process. Systematic review search strategies are created in order to maximize recall, but in so doing, they tend to be very imprecise, meaning that the majority of your articles, perhaps 99% or more, will be irrelevant for your project. It's in the next couple steps that you will screen out all of those irrelevant articles. The first part of that is doing a title abstract screen. During this phase, you, and possibly others who are assisting you, will apply predefined inclusion-exclusion criteria in order to select articles that will help you answer your underlying research question. It's important to apply your inclusion and exclusion criteria in a consistent way, with all members of the team having a shared understanding of what you're looking for in order to minimize the likelihood of introducing bias. Next, for those articles that made it through the first round of screening, you will read the entire article and vote again using the inclusion and exclusion criteria to confirm that these articles should be included. For those articles that make it through both screening rounds, you will move on to the data extraction step. Here, you will use a predetermined data extraction template in order to consistently pull out key information across the remaining articles. It is important that each article is extracted in the same way, again, to minimize the introduction of bias. For some systematic reviews, the reviewers may decide to perform a quality assessment, though that is not always required. During a quality assessment, all of the articles that have made it to the data extraction step are analyzed in order to describe the quality of each study compared to an established rubric for that study type. Next, the extracted data is used to give an answer to the research question which was defined at the start of the process. The steps described on this slide are typical of most systematic reviews and are intended to give you an overall snapshot of how to properly perform this kind of project. So long for now. Next time we will look at how to develop an effective search strategy for a systematic review.